Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Megan, and the point of my channel is just to compare books I've read to their movie adaptations, or some of them have been adapted into TV shows, so I'll compare that obviously. Oh my goodness, my hair already. Sorry. So I know I promised that my next video would be looking for Alaska, but over the week I read the DUFF and then I watched the DUFF, so I kind of want to do that one while it's fresh on my mind. Looking for Alaska is coming. I promise I'll stop reading books that will get me sidetracked. So I promise Looking for Alaska will be the next video. So if you're waiting for that, go ahead and hit subscribe so you don't miss out. I'll try to do it during the week. I typically only do videos on the weekend, but I'll try this week to get Looking for Alaska, because it's been a while since I read that book, so I wanted to do this one while it's still a little fresh. So the book that I am doing for this episode is the DUFF. And I read it online, so I don't know. Let me look it up. Let me see who the author is. I'm sorry. I am not prepared today. I think it was, never mind, I'm not even going to guess because I'll probably be wrong. No. Okay, by Cody Keplinger. So again, I read it online, but it's called The DUFF, and it was made into a movie, which I thought was on Netflix, but then I went to find it, and it was not on Netflix, so I found that online too, but everything was like flipped, like a mirror image of what it should have been, so all the words were backwards. I was like squinting, because if you have not seen the movie, there's a lot of words in it, and you gotta like read it backwards and stuff. But anyways, I did watch it, and so I'm ready to do this video. Okay, so before I begin, I'd like to start by saying that they were just very different, the book and the movie. And I liked them both. The movie was made to be a little more kid-friendly, I would say. The book was definitely more raunchy. I did still like it, but it was very different. So very quickly, my list of differences became just kind of a list of my commentary on the movie. So hang tight with me. I'll try to tie it back to the book as I go, but my bullet points might be kind of just talking about the movie at some points. All right, so the movie opened up with kind of a little nod to the Breakfast Club, which I liked, because, I mean, who wouldn't? She said, like, you could be labeled as a princess or a jock or a basket case, blah, 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 which are the labels that they used in the Breakfast Club. I said they open in different locations. The first scene was in the Nest, their little club, which was not anywhere in the movie. But in the book, the Nest was like this club for, I forget the age, but like 18 and up. I think it was younger than 18 and up. It was like cut off at 21, so it was like a club for kids, and they just drink pop and stuff there. But the movie opened up just at school, and it showed each of the characters. It showed the main girl, Bianca, and then her two friends. And what I did like about the movie at first was that it gave her two friends like different hobbies that they do, where in the book they were just Jess and Casey, and like these are their personalities, and one was a cheerleader. But in the movie it showed like one's a fashion designer, and one is a computer hacker and plays like lacrosse or something. So it just gave them it made them a little more rounded as characters. But then later on in the movie, it came back to like help Bianca, and I was like, oh, that's kind of annoying. Like, of course, her two friends have the two things that'll help her, the two skills that'll help her out. But at the beginning, I like that. Another new thing about the movie versus the book is there's a mean girl in it, and her name's Madison. She was not in the book at all. That's all I have to say about that. Bianca is in journalism in the movie. and she is forced to write an article about homecoming. Again, none of this is in the book. In the movie, Wesley and Bianca go way back. They're like neighbors, and they used to be friends, I guess. And he's like not rich because he lives right next door, where in the book it doesn't really say how far back they go, but he's definitely rich. They're definitely not neighbors. And she just has always hated him. But like literally in the movie it said they used to take baths together when they were kids. One thing I was really mad about, but I guess maybe it would help like the runtime, was that they got rid of the whole storyline about her alcoholic dad. I really like that storyline with her worrying about him and about him relapsing. In the movie, her parents have already been divorced for years, and she lives with her mom, where in the book they were going through the divorce. He relapses and her mom doesn't live with her. So they just made her live with the easier parent, I guess, for the sake of the movie. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I don't know how to edit things yet, so bear with me. Madison had a house party, so rather than having scenes at this little underage club, they just had her have a house party. And then after the whole DUFF thing came out, she got mad at Jess and Casey and said like they made her the DUFF, and so she got mad at them. And she stopped giving a flying fart about everything and just showed up to school looking a hot mess. And that's very different from the book. Like, she never blamed her friends. She did grow distant from them, but for completely different things. So they just made this fight between them where she blamed them for being pretty, I guess. One part that made me laugh, she was like, in the parking lot, she looked around and she's like, even my car is a DUFF. And it was just, I thought it was so funny because there was a scene where her and her friends were like unfriending each other, unfollowing each other, deleting each other on all social media, and it went on for so long. I was like, really? Like, that scene drove me crazy, and it lasted like 5 whole minutes. We're like, well, I'm going to delete you on Tumblr. Well, I'm going to unadd you on Snapchat. Like, that's enough. We get it. Social media is a thing, but just stay on everything. It's fine. So how the whole her and Wesley hanging out happens in the movie is that Wesley got suspended for football because of his grades, and so she goes to him and says, hey, I'll tutor you, and in return you just have to help me, like, so I'm not the DUFF anymore, which again is way different than in the book. She just kind of kisses him and like starts fooling around with him to distract herself from her life, and about everything that's going wrong in her life because she doesn't want to think about it. So very different. And this is the point where I finally learned that the movie was nothing like the book. The premise was kind of the same. It's about a girl struggling with being called the DUFF and then ending up with Wesley. And at that point, I was just assuming that. But, I mean, I was right. But just how they dealt with being called the DUFF was very different. Of course, how come this always happens in a movie where there's an embarrassing video and it gets sent to the whole school? I've never experienced that in real life. They made it go viral. Poor chick. And then I said, wow, how lucky that her friend is a hacker because they got the video taken down. The way they passed their phones, so teachers confiscated phones, and the way they passed them out, they just had a bucket of phones and the kids came and grabbed theirs. Totally unpractical and like not believable. In the book, Wesley defended her by punching her drunk dad who hit her. And in the movie, Wesley defended her by punching someone who was just making fun of her. So, close enough, right? I thought the actress, I don't know her name, I thought her smile was so pretty. But her character did own a lot of overalls. I've never seen someone with so many pairs of overalls in my life. So another small difference in the movie, his parents were constantly fighting and he wants a way out of the house by a scholarship to college. But in the book, his parents were absent, so he was trying to fill that void with girls, whereas in the movie, he just wanted a way out. I don't really know what they had to do with girls. In the movie, he kissed her first, but in the book, she kissed him. I was kind of sad she had a date with Toby Tucker, and in the book her friends came over and helped her get ready, and then they stayed at her house the whole time of her date, and then she came home and she got to tell them all about it. And I was sad because in the movie she was still fighting with her friends and they didn't get to help her get ready, so she had to do it all alone, and that made me sad. And then the movie Toby Tucker was way different. He was talking about how he was a bad student, so that's why he learned guitar, but like in the book he was like a student politician, student council. He was going to grow up and be president or something. And then in the end, Toby was only with her in the movie because he wanted to be with Jess or Casey, which I don't know how whatever, that logic was flawed. And that's so different than the book, because in the book he actually, like, they dated for a while. And then he realized he just wanted to be back with his ex and was trying to distract himself from that. And then, of course, her friend was a fashion designer who got to make her a dress for homecoming. And then, okay, so at the homecoming, they had this really creepy line from a teacher saying, like, a student was hot. I was like, why did they think that was necessary to the movie? That kind of stuff irks me a lot. Like, dude, why are you showing teachers in this light as being creeps? Like, I don't like that. And then the dress she wore to homecoming, like, it showed a little montage earlier of them designing a dress on a computer, and it's not the same at all. So I don't know how they designed this dress. They're like, looks good, and then she showed up wearing something completely different. Blah blah blah. Here I said some quote from the movie that made me laugh, but I don't get it. She said, "I knew it was me. Keep it to yourself. LOL." Okay. But the end, I think, was really cute. And then, of course, it ended with another creepy line from the teacher saying Wesley was hot. I was just like... Anyway, but I thought the book and the movie were both really good. They were just so different. I would probably say on this one, what did I like better? I think I liked the movie better. Yep, I think I did. Which is very rare for me. But I just kind of I didn't care for the raunchiness of the books. I don't know, that's just not how my mind works, I guess. And I don't know, the way she figured out, she's like, that girl's not a whore. What? And like her little revelation she had in the book, I was just like, really? She's like, we're all Duffs. And it was just too much for me at times in the book, but I did still like the book, and I liked how, like, Wesley sent her flowers, and he was like, you're the only one who I want to be with. Like, I don't know, I think how they came together in the book was really, really sweet, and how she approached him, and she, like, fell down. I don't know, there were a lot of funny moments in the book, but the movie was funny in its own way. Like, it was unique. When, I don't know, at some point it showed like fireworks behind her, which was funny, and then it's got the little captions of who everyone is. And when she was looking around and seeing at all the friends groups and looking at the Duffs, it had little arrows pointing at them. So just those little cartoony features were cool. The little visual effects were funny. And honestly, like, when I heard about the movie first, and I thought it looked so dumb. I was like, I'm never going to watch that. But then I heard it was a book first. I'm like, you know what? Why not? I'm doing this YouTube channel. Let me read it, and then I'll watch it, and I'll talk about them both. And I actually liked them both. So the main differences were just, like, the story plot of who she lives with, kind of Wesley's background, I guess you would say, is a big difference. And then just kind of where a lot of the stuff happens, because in the book a lot of things happen at the nest. And then Toby Tucker was very different in the book versus the movie. So yeah, I think they're just two very different things. So again, if you read the book and you want the movie to be exactly like it, probably don't go in with that mindset. I think they were both enjoyable though. So I promise next time I will do Looking for Alaska, so stay tuned.